Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about my journey to becoming a registered nurse. If you're interested in this, then keep on watching. Hi guys, so if you're new here, hi, my name is Valery. I'm 23 years old and I am a pediatric registered nurse and I work in New York. I wanted to talk about how I became a registered nurse because I know that a lot of people have asked me this question before and I haven't really gotten into depth and made a video about it in my channel. I do have videos on how I was studying for the NCLEX and my experience in nursing school more in depth, but not really how I became a nurse. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And really, before starting to talk about it, I wanted to thank Pediatric for partnering with me in today's video. I'm gonna talk about Pediatric a little bit later, and honestly Pediatric was one of the main reasons why I did go to nursing school. So yes, let's just get started with the video. Okay guys, so I'm gonna start from the beginning. So I went to high school in the Bronx. It was a horrible high school, honestly. I did my 4 years of high school. I graduated high school with a 3.6 GPA. It wasn't like the greatest most amazing thing. When I was going to college, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do something in the medical field. I've always wanted to do something related to like taking care of people and stuff like that. I thought about being a medical assistant. I thought of being a phlebotomist, a nurse, a doctor, a nurse practitioner, a physician assistant. There was so many things that I thought about being. When I went to college, I did not know that I was gonna go to nursing school. I didn't have any idea what I really wanted to do exactly. I thought about being a nurse, but I wasn't sure. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. So after I graduated from high school, in June of 2018, and I didn't go right into college. I waited a semester. I took some time off and then I started on January of 2019. That's when I started college. So when I started college, I went to Monroe College in the Bronx. I started college in January of 2019. Going to Monroe, I didn't really know what college I wanted to go to, honestly. It just happened to be that Monroe had like a partnership with my high school. You basically were like 100% sure that you were going to be accepted, honestly. So I actually had taken some college classes while I was in high school. I had already 12 college credits when I graduated high school, and that helped me kind of finish school faster. So I went to Monroe just cause I honestly didn't have that many choices because there was something going on at that time and I didn't have that many choices to go to school. So I started in Monroe and I didn't have like a major picked out. I was just doing like regular classes. I knew they had a nursing program. I talked to some people about it, and because I talked to my advisor and I told her like I wanted to do something on the medical field, and she presented the options to me. They have an MA program and they also have a nursing program. They have like different types of nursing programs. So the one that I was accepted to basically was for students that were straight out of high school. They kind of did an exception with me because I wasn't really straight out of high school. I had already started taking regular classes, kind of like prereqs, and then I got accepted into the program. And also something that a lot of people ask me, some people don't know, but some people do know, and they ask me how I graduated college with student loans and zero debt. And it's because of FAFSA and also because of my school. So my school had something called a President's Scholarship, something like that. And because of my grades from high school, they gave me a scholarship to cover what FAFSA couldn't cover. So I applied for FAFSA, and I know that not everybody has the luxury and has that opportunity, and I'm so grateful I was able to graduate without any debt. And because my school was expensive, like one semester was only like $8,000 one semester, and I went to school for 3 years and I did 3 semesters in a year. So you do the math, like, you know. So I applied for FAFSA. It's based on your parents' income, or if you do your taxes alone, it depends on your income. It depends on the amount of money that your parents make, basically. So my mom didn't make that much. I was able to get a big chunk of money from FAFSA, and also the other part my school covered it because of the scholarship that I got. Because of that scholarship, I had to speak with the president of the school. Like, I went in on a random day. They told me like, oh yeah, like you wanted to apply for the scholarship, you have to talk to the president of the school. I was like, okay. So I talked to him. I like basically told him like where I was from, like, you know, like how I got where I was, and that I really needed the money because I wasn't working. I didn't have money to pay for the school, and my mom didn't have money to pay for the school. So, and I am so grateful. He's such a great guy, honestly. And yeah, I got that scholarship, and then the other part was covered for FAFSA. So that's how I was able to go to nursing school for 3 years without any debt. The books, I paid for my books. I paid for like my computer because I needed a computer, and for some other stuff that we needed. But other than that, most of the things were covered by the scholarship that I had with the school. I totally recommend that if you know your parents don't make much, or like even if they do, just try to apply and see how much money they give you, because sometimes they do give some money. And also a tip, you do not need to go to a private college or like an amazing college to be in a good nursing program. You can start out going to a community college, doing an associate's in nursing, and then getting your BSN after you start working, and then you're not gonna have any debt. Good tip. So I should have done that, but I am grateful that I got to have that opportunity and I don't have any debt related to school. Okay, so a little more on how I got accepted into the actual nursing program. The nursing program that my school had that I wanted to go into after deciding what I really wanted to do. So that program was basically for high school students that had just finished high school and that they wanted to start basically their BSN. So I did my BSN, and it was an accelerated program. So that program was 3 years, because instead of doing 2 semesters in a year, I did 3. I barely had any vacation, went to school literally the whole year except for August. August was my month off, and then of the other months I had school. Even when people had like winter breaks, I had school. My winter break was like a week. That's about it. So yeah, that was fun. When it comes to applying to my nursing program, it was kind of different for me. I know that I kind of like jumped a bunch of steps. They kind of already knew who I was, and there was this person from the admissions office that he helped me so much, because it wasn't easy to get there, to get accepted. But talking to him and him seeing how I really wanted to be in that program, and how many challenges that were in my way that wouldn't let me be in that program, he really helped me. And without him, honestly, I wouldn't have gotten in there, because he helped me when people were trying to say no. He told them to give me another chance. I owe him literally my degree. Okay, so what they asked me for to get into the nursing program, I needed to do an interview with the dean of the nursing school. I needed to provide basically my high school diploma, my college transcript, my high school transcript, because I already had 12 credit of college, so I needed to provide my college transcript. I also did like a little tour of the nursing school. I am pretty sure that was it. To get into that program, it's very competitive, so I have no idea how I got in there, honestly. It was honestly mostly because of that guy that I'm telling you about, that he was from admissions, and he helped me all throughout basically my whole program. I did my interview with the dean of the school. It was just asking just random questions, why I wanted to be a nurse, do I have somebody in the family that was a nurse, stuff like that. I think it went good. Like, she didn't really let me kind of have a feeling of how the interview went. And actually that program started on the fall of 2019, so I was late because I could have applied to start on the fall of 2018, but since I didn't know that I wanted to be on the nursing program, or I didn't know anything about it, I kind of was behind. I ended up getting accepted to the nursing program. So since the nursing program started on the fall of 2019, I started in January of 2019, and basically from January until the fall, which is September, from January until September, I was basically taking prerequisites. So I took sciences, I took microbiology, I took anatomy and physiology. And when I actually started the nursing program, I was ahead of the others because I had already taken the first couple core classes that were needed for the first year. So the whole time that I was in nursing school and in that program, I was ahead of the others just because I started taking classes before them, in a sense. So my situation was a little weird. I'm pretty sure I was the only person that was like that. Oh no, one of my classmates also did that. So I already have a video on my experience with nursing school. It was not the greatest, but I am going to put the video right here. I sit right here. right here. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it here or in the description box so you guys can see it, so I don't repeat myself. I actually wanted to talk to you about Picmonic right now because Picmonic is literally one of the main reasons why I did good on so many of my classes in nursing school. So if you guys don't know, Picmonic, it's a website and also an app, and they basically tell you stories about a certain topic using characters, and it helps you never forget what they're teaching you. So Picmonic is an audiovisual learning tool, and it was great for me because I am a visual learner. It is so good because also, if you are in nursing school, or if you don't know, nursing school is very hard in the sense that there's a lot of information that you have to learn in a small amount of time. So Picmonic really also helped with that because the videos that they provide are like 1 minute to 2 minutes long, and then so you basically get the story, and then you get like the educational part of the story, and it literally takes a minute or two to watch the video, and then you get a quiz to answer the questions related to the video that you just watched. And it just made studying so much more fun and so much more easy because there were some topics that in the textbook was like 20 pages long, and then when I went to Picmonic and watched the video, I already understood what they were talking about because of how good it was. I use Picmonic mostly for pharmacology. Picmonic for pharmacology is like the best tool ever. I completely recommend it. So yes, I really love Picmonic. I discovered Picmonic actually my second year of nursing school, and I wish I had known about it sooner because oh my god, it was so good. I totally recommend it. And if you guys have seen my videos beforehand and have been with me since I was in nursing school, then you know that Picmonic is my ride or die, and I love working with them. And I truly can tell you, genuinely, I love Picmonic, and I really think it's an amazing study resource. So if you're interested in trying Picmonic, you can click the link in my description so you can get a 20% off discount of your Picmonic subscription. Once again, Picmonic, thank you so much for partnering with me in today's video. Okay guys, so yes, coming back to the topic. So I already talked about my experience with nursing school. To be a little brief about it and talk to you a little bit, I honestly don't think I learned as much as I should on some topics because I feel like my school and most schools, according to what I have talked with other people, like with people that work with me and other people like on the internet, that they have DM'd me and saying like, oh yeah, I had a similar experience to you. Some nursing schools don't really care that you learn for the long run, in a sense. They just care about statistics of you passing the NCLEX because that makes them look good. So that's about it. Some of my classes, I was just sitting there and I'm like, what is going on? The professor would read from the slide, like I cannot see what she's reading, and not really explain further the topic. Honestly, completely honest, when I was studying for the NCLEX was when I learned the most, and also when I started working was when I learned the most. As simple as that. And some people did tell me about that. Some people told me like, oh, don't feel like it's okay if you don't know certain things, you will learn it at your job. And that is true. It's okay if you don't know some stuff, you will learn it at your job. Okay guys, so when I finally finished nursing school, which I feel like took forever, and honestly I wanted to drop out all the time. When I finished nursing school, I got to do an ATI 3-day review for the NCLEX. That did nothing for me. Then I graduated on, I forgot. I'm pretty sure I graduated on 2022. And I did my ceremony before I finished graduating because I had to take a class again. I took that class twice. I didn't really fail it. I just dropped the class because I was failing it. So I didn't want it to have a failed class on my transcript, so I dropped it and then I took it again. So that's why when I did my graduation ceremony, I hadn't finished school, and my graduation ceremony was in June of 2022, and then I actually finished my nursing program, like I graduated completely on August of 2022. I was honestly so pissed about that because honestly it was my fault. I kind of like got senioritis and wasn't really paying attention in class and wasn't taking it serious because I was like, oh yeah, I'm graduating, I don't really need to do this. But yeah, that's what happened. August, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take a month to study for the NCLEX, and then I failed. And then I was like, okay, you know what, I'm so sad about it, I'm so ashamed. But then I took some time for myself. I went on vacation, I had the time of my life. I came back, I studied a little more, and I have a video on how I studied studied those first 2 times for the NCLEX, and then I studied a little more. I also didn't really feel prepared, but I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. Mind you, I was paying for that for the test. The test is $200, so I was wasting so much money on this, and I honestly wasn't, like, I was taking it serious, but not as serious as I should have. I went to take it again, and then I failed again. At this point, I was like, oh my god, do I really want to be a nurse? Like, did I do this for nothing? Did I go through nursing school for 3 freaking years and I struggled so much for nothing? I have a video on how I actually passed the next gen NCLEX, because I had to end up taking the next gen, and I was so scared because I was like, I did not study for this. Like, this is gonna be so much harder, but it was so much easier for me. Third time was a charm for me, and then I finally passed the NCLEX and I was finally a nurse. I think I have talked about this, about how I got my job. So basically, I am a pediatric nurse and I work in New York. I live in Jersey now, but I still work in New York. When I was in nursing school, my pediatric rotation, I did it over there where I work now. I completely fell in love with it. I thought it was so different. When they told me in school that we were gonna do pediatrics, we were going to a pediatric hospital, I was like, oh my god, that's so fun. But I never thought it was going to be what I experienced. I thought it was gonna be like a regular pediatric hospital, like, you know, Morgan Stanley. That's the New York Presbyterian, but for kids. I thought it was gonna be like that. The place I went and my job is basically long-term care for kids. So my kids live there, and it's basically a nursing home for kids, and we're providing them with comfort measures and until they will end up passing away, because the conditions that they have, they're not going to get better, sadly. They're just going to end up passing away in their time. So we're making them comfortable, giving their meds, and hoping to prolong their life as much as we can. So when I went to my rotation, I did it on the 3rd floor and I completely loved it. I thought I was going to work there, but I actually ended up working on the 2nd floor, which is kind of like the hardest of the floors because all of our kids are on ventilators. I was so scared when they told me my floor was the ventilator floor. I was like, what? I've never seen a ventilator in my life. But it ended up being completely fine, and I am very thankful for my job, for the people that I work with, for my manager, and for everybody there, honestly, because without them I cannot have gotten this far. And actually in May, about to be 1 year that I am working there, and I am so excited. I am planning to be there for as long as I can. I do not want to work in a regular hospital. I don't want to deal with that. I already know my kids. I know the people I work with. I know my schedule. I know what to expect. So that's what I like, and I love my job. I love my kids. I have 24 kids. I don't know if I want kids of my own because I already have 24 kids that I love and I take care of. So yes, that's kind of how I got my job, because I went on my rotation there and they already knew me. Fun fact. So when one of the recruiters called me from there, she was like, hey, are you so and so? She said a random lady's name. I'm like, who? You got the wrong person, lady. You got the wrong person. Then she asked me my name and I told her like, oh yes, I'm Valery Nunez. And she was like, oh yeah, I've heard about you. And I was like, you what? From where? So she was like, oh, are you interested in a job here? And then I was like, oh yeah, like I did my pediatric rotation there. And then she was like, I know. I was like, oh, okay, yes, definitely. Like what do I have to do? And then she sent me the link to apply for the position. I applied for the position. I got an offer letter like 2 days later. We went from there. So they actually waited for me to pass my NCLEX, which honestly, it was godsend. I have never heard of any place waiting until like the person has failed the NCLEX and waiting for them until they pass the NCLEX. That's that kind of relationship that we had. That lady, she really knew that I wanted to work there and that was really my place. She just waited for me, and even she ended up like leaving that position, and I ended up having another recruiter and she still held me as much. And I am so thankful. I swear, like it was God that was like, yes, you're going to work here. This is going to be your first job and you're going to be here for some time because you're gonna love it. So yes, that's guys how I became a registered nurse at 22. All right guys, so that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope now you have a sense of kind of how things can go for you, maybe. And if you have any questions about like anything, if you want me to make another video about anything that I talked about in more detail, please just let me know in the comments down below. Or if you just want to say hi, or anything, just leave me a comment. I love reading your comments and talking to you. Thank you once again, Picmonic, for partnering with me in today's video. And don't forget that if you want a 20% off discount on your Picmonic subscription, you can click the link in my description. So yes guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe down below and click the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Bye guys.